Hey Samore Love Bugs, you have now tuned in to my Preachers of LA recap. Yes, 'tis I. And I am in a new little area now. I am in the same name that you saw before, but the link is different in order to get to this channel now. As some of you may know, those of you that have seen some of my videos that I've been putting up over the past few days, my channel got flagged for shots of sunset, which were like how old? 2 of those videos, because they couldn't get down another channel. It actually, when I had appealed the other video that they tried to take down, it all was good for me. But then somebody else, I guess they wasn't pleased with that decision, so they went ahead and they kept on going until they finally got it flagged down by using shots of sunset, which I don't see any reason why shots of sunset, out of all the videos, the 500 videos that I had, almost 600, would be the reason. But you know, we not even want to think about that. It's whatever. At the end of the day, I kept it moving, I kept it going. I've created 2 new baby channels for the price of that one channel. And you know what, although it was giving me some income from that particular channel, because you know it was a good amount of subscribers, 10,000 subscribers, and my videos were ranking pretty high. At the end of the day, I've always done this because this is something that I actually enjoy doing. I never felt like it was a chore. You know, the only thing I can say is that I always felt like I wanted it to come out like clockwork. So I stay up until 2 o'clock in the morning in order to edit videos. I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go to my real job, you know, and to take my son to school. That's all me that does that. And, you know, for somebody to just say, oh, I don't like her because her video has a lot of views, it's totally pathetic. And, you know, I wish you well. You know, at the end of the day, I wish you well. I'm not even going to say anything bad or crazy. I'm not going to curse nobody out because I'm over those stages. At the end of the day, you're hurting yourself because it's going to come back to you. So that's pretty much this. That's all it is. Yeah. And, you know, it just helped me to learn. And that channel's only been up for a year, and I feel like I can definitely not even duplicate, but I can triplet it. I said that totally wrong, and that was a grammatical error, but you guys know what I mean. I can make it twice as better at the end of the day, because now, like I said, I have my entertainment channel and I have my recap channel, because I most likely, well, I can't even say it was, well, we're not even getting into that because this is about Preachers of LA. And, you know, as they say, you know, turn the other cheek. And that's exactly what we're doing. So anyways, so Dietrich and Dominique, they're having a nice little conversation with the kids, sitting down and playing. And he happens to bring up the fact that he feels like, well, she actually, I think she was the one who brought it up. She said, oh, that Bishop McClendon will probably come through, whatever. And he's just like, well, I'm going to have to make sure I talk to him. Because for him to come, and I feel the same way, for him to come at the last episode, you know, I mean, he came in, what, one other episode when he was talking about his daughter getting married and stuff like that. But for the most part, he wasn't there. He didn't help with the planning, but yet you want to get the glory. You want to get the praise. You want to be in the paper, wherever they're going to be. You want the acknowledgement. You want everybody to say, oh yes, Bishop McClendon was in Preachers of LA and he did a good sermon. I mean, I'm not going to lie, because he surely did give a good sermon when he went up on that podium. He surely did. But I just don't feel like it's fair. I feel like he's just taking up that spot when they can use it for somebody else who will be much more consistent being on the show. Excuse me. So anyways, Ron, Gibson, and Levette, they're talking about the event as well. And Ron, he's kind of has his reservations as far as if he really wants to go or not, just because of how he feels about Loretta and that whole situation. And Levette, she just kind of tells him, like, you know, you said what you said, we kind of got to let it go now. And I don't know, he didn't really say anything after she said that. He actually was like, yeah, you're right, you know. Maisha and Wayne, they're talking about the event as well, and she's going to be performing, and Wayne, he's going to be giving a short little speech as well. Loretta, she reveals that she's disappointed because she was the one who put all this thing together. Like, even though they were coming at, well, some of them was coming at her because she wasn't a first lady, she was still single-handedly able to do everything by herself, and the ladies didn't even really like help her. She said that she felt like these ladies being first ladies, that they would have assisted her a little bit more, and she was totally stressed out. But, you know, everything did come together. It looked well put. She really did a really good job. And she said at the end of the day, if she had to do it again, she surely would. Even though she had to go through so much crap, so much adversity, it was still worth it at the end of the day. So Ron and Loretta, they do end up going to the event, which is great. And he feels like he's so happy that he ended up going because his sister Soldier was there, as well as the guy that he had gotten an argument with, Loco or something like that. He was there as well. And following them arriving, guess who came? Yes, but of course, Bishop McClendon, he arrives with his wife as well. And of course we knew that. Dietrich addresses him, asks him, like, oh, you know, why didn't you come to not one of the meetings, not even one? But luckily it doesn't get out of hand. They just both keep it really classy. And I feel like they were kind of using jest in order to kind of get past whatever it was that they had towards each other. I love you, man. I love you, man. But at the end of the day, if they really had to argue again, I feel like they would. Like, you know, I feel like they were keeping the peace because they know that that's what they need to do. Especially with all the people that are there in this place at this time. You know, it's like, okay, we can't be arguing and looking all crazy with all these other preachers from all around the globe. Well, maybe not the globe, but all around the United States that are here. We definitely have to show up and show face. That's what I would say. So he even jokes, Bishop McClendon even jokes about him having his whole entourage there. Chrissy and Jay arrive, and Jay's going to be giving a nice little speech as well. It was nice to see all the people, you know, doing their things in their element. Loretta, once again, she did such a good job, but I feel like Noel, he was still like he still plays with her emotions so much. Like, I feel like all she wants, like, she jokes about it so much, but I feel like her jest is all truth, or mainly truth. Like, she's like, oh yeah, I want a ring. Like, when they was by some little vendor, she's like, yeah, you know, he wants to get me a ring. And he's like, oh no, nothing that goes on the finger. Anything that goes on the neck is fine. But I feel, and then in the commentary, she's like, you know, Noel is going to do whatever Noel wants to do. And I'm just going to be here waiting and loving him. And I'm just like, but you're not that young. Like, how long do you really want to wait for this man to find himself? If someone knows that they want to be with you, especially in the profession that he's in, I would feel that he would have asked her a while ago. How many years they've been together? Like, seriously? What, 17 years? I feel like, come on. You could have known by 5 years. You just, what are you doing that you're afraid to commit? What is the difference between you being around her all the time and you committing to her? You guys are pretty much playing house, doing everything that you would normally do. Maybe they're not fully shacked up because that's sin, you know, they can't let that be known. But at the end of the day, you're doing everything else, so why not? And there's always such a thing as a prenup if he's scared that she's gonna take his money. You know what I'm saying? So you might as well. So anyways, Maisha, she follows Dietrich's performance. Dietrich gave a really good performance. You know, he had his whole crew like doing it. They was going down and everything. And then he gave his sermon and everything. It was just amazing. He just like blew you away in the time frame that he had. And we only saw a little clip of it. Imagine what those people were feeling. It was powerful, man. So then Maisha's like, dang, I gotta go after that. And then when she goes up, she's all ready to do her thing. She's ready. She's like, you know. And what happens? The sound goes off, y'all. The sound goes off. And then we think that it's coming back. She gives it another chance. And it's still scratching and not working. It must have been a dirty CD, or I don't know what was going on, but it was just bad. And Wayne was getting upset. He's like, nah, somebody's getting fired. someone is getting fired. Yeah. He was like, take her off the stage now. Take her off. Because he didn't, excuse me, I'm sick, y'all. See, I've been doing all this stuff and I'm sick. And I've been going. Anyways, so he didn't want her to be embarrassed at the end of the day. It's like she's standing on the stage, the music isn't working, people are looking at her like, okay, like, is she gonna sing? Is she not gonna sing? Why is she standing up there snapping her fingers? What's going on? Like, you can see they showed a little bit of the audience, and their facial expressions were just like, okay. Like, some people were giggling and laughing. It's just a really embarrassing experience. So she really begins to start doubting herself when she gets off stage and goes to the back. But unfortunately, Cheney, he couldn't really stay there and comfort her. He had to go get ready for him to go on stage to do his little speech and everything, his sermon. So he like kind of left her there because she was like, you know what, I'll stay right here. And she was kind of like really like doubting herself, just feeling like maybe this isn't her calling. Maybe this was a sign from God to tell her that she shouldn't be doing this. Like, it was just so much doubt in her face that she was saying, that she was speaking, you know. It wasn't the Maisha that we're normally seeing, who is full of so much energy and life and everything else. So she just starts like really breaking down after a while, like pouring out the tears. And luckily Dietrich comes over and he gives her a good little pep talk, telling her that these things happen sometimes. And don't ever let anyone take your gift away from you. Don't lose your gifts. You know, this is the gift that you have. And you're an amazing performer, an amazing singer. And once she hears that, she's just kind of like, okay. She starts to get a little more confidence, and her husband comes over, talks to her as well, and he's like, yo, we're gonna get you on that stage. She looks like she's a little reluctant to do so, just because, I guess, of the bad experience she just had. But when she does get back on the stage, it was an amazing performance. She did so good. And you know, I feel like she's definitely has a career. She's gonna be doing her thing. The last person that ended up going on stage was, well, one of the last people was Ron. I think he was the last of them. And he tried to give other people on his whole life story, talking about his addiction and this and that. And it looked like from the way they was acting that it was like super long that he was talking. They had to like pull on his little suit like, okay, brother, it's time for us to get ready to get up out of here. You know, we got to leave. So they grabbed his attention and they're all ready to leave. So all in all, I feel like this was a pretty good episode. You know, got a chance to showcase all of their abilities and their different ways of preaching. And I can honestly say that I would definitely like to see them, either one of them in action, just because of how I've seen them, even McClendon, because even though I may or may not like him as a person, I don't really know him as a person, but, you know, just I feel he's a little hypocritical. But as far as his sermon, his delivery, oh my gosh, like, I just feel like I would be captivated. I would be sitting there listening to each and every word. Like, I can't even lie and say I wouldn't. So, you know, some people, you may not like them as a person, but as far as their performances, they can be the best actors in the world. That don't mean I have to like you, you know what I'm saying? But I could love a movie that you're in. I could love the way you sing. That don't mean that I gotta like everything that you do or say. So that's kind of where I am with him. But definitely, all in all, a really good show. I don't know when they're coming back, but as far as what's going to replace my Wednesday recaps is going to be Mob Wives. So we went from Holy to Ratchet. And that's going to be December 3rd is when that starts. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. That's one of my favorite reality shows, just because them girls that is really, really gangster. You know what I'm saying? Them Mob Wives, they don't play. Them Jersey girls. What, you're from Jersey, right? I'm like totally making stuff up. No, they're not even from Jersey. Where they from? They're from Staten Island, right? Isn't it Staten Island? Wherever the hell they from. They gangster. What else is coming back up? I think Love and Hip Hop New York is up next. That's gonna, of course, be on the other channel, my beauty and fashion channel. And then just check out the entertainment channel, because I'll be doing things as it comes along. In December, I was planning on slowing down anyway, so regardless of this whole situation, the only thing I'll be doing most likely is anything that really is like, oh my gosh, like I really want to do this. Probably like Mob Wives and maybe Bad Girls Club. Like I'll probably still do the recaps. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I mean everything. I see 2015 as the new it, and I'm definitely have more plans as far as being more secure with certain things. And I know people say back up your channel and this and that, but at the end of the day, those types of channels, even if you back it up, who's gonna put up like some old video of, you know, something that was a current event at that time? That's almost like reading an old newspaper. For the most part, you're not gonna do that. That's yesterday's paper telling yesterday's news. That was a song I used to know. So how can you tell me you're lonely and say... All right, let me stop before I get a copyright strike or something against me. Wouldn't want nobody flagging up the channel. All right, anyways, guys, be sure to stay fabulous, live free, and soar limitless. I will see you in the next one.